Well, I mean, they're capable. I
If
mean,
we overlook them.
they got beat by Scott County yesterday, so.
It's not county good.
Banks. Hello again, everybody. David Clary along with Ethan Eubanks live at the fairgrounds in Clinton, Tennessee, getting set for Oak Ridge High School baseball. A very cold, blustery day when we first arrived here. It started raining, and I was thinking, well, this has been a postponed game 3 different times, or 2 different times, and the cloud seems to have gone away. They put the tarp on very quickly. The entire Clinton baseball team did, and we will have baseball for you here from Clinton. Let me run down the starting lineups. First off, for the Clinton Dragons, the leadoff man for the Dragons will be the catcher, Jason Mack. He'll be followed by Jaden Webb, the designated hitter. He'll be hitting for Sam Duggins, the left fielder. Batting third will be the center fielder, Thomas Shelton. Batting fourth will be the first baseman, Garrett Lee. Batting fifth will be the shortstop, Garrett Davis. Isaiah Slavin will be pitching today. He'll be hitting sixth, number 7 hitter in their lineup. The third baseman, Alex Duggins. Batting eighth will be the second baseman, Jackson Bennett. And batting ninth will be the right fielder, Dallas Beats. For the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats, leading things off and playing shortstop will be Caden Black. Batting second will be the third baseman, Mikey Teasley. Batting third will be the pitcher, Peyton Witter. Batting fourth will be the second baseman, Parker Free. Batting fifth will be, batting fifth will be Cam Welch. He'll be playing, looks like, first base for the Wildcats. Batting seventh will be the catcher, Kyron Welch. Batting eighth will be the right fielder, Richie Ferreira. And batting ninth will be, looks like Camden Britton is going to be playing left field. He'll be hitting 8, and Warren East will be playing the center field position. He'll be hitting 9th. I think I've got everything right there. We're just moments away. We're on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We're also going to be on Comcast BBB Communications channel 1086 tonight. So if you get knocked off on the YouTube, you can go to, if you have Comcast, you can watch it on channel 1086. The captains will be coming out. Actually, the head coaches of the two teams are out at home plate talking about the ground rules here. Done a lot of ball games here. Seen a lot of good baseball play between these two schools. I was talking to one of their radio people before the game. They were telling me about they played a Scott County team yesterday and fell behind early. And that doesn't really honestly surprise me because, they're high school kids, and sometimes they look forward to this game more than any other ball game. I think Clinton's probably number one rival is probably Anderson County, but Oak Ridge has to be number 2, I would assume. Unfortunately, we're not in the same region or district with them anymore, but it's still a competitive rivalry that's kind of dated all the way back to the early 1940s. Wildcats will be wearing their Cardinal jerseys today with gray and white lettering. The Clinton Dragons will be wearing their white jerseys with orange and black. Two teams are getting ready to play. Just yesterday, we had about an 80-degree day. Today, I think I heard on the radio coming over here, they're expecting snow in the Smokies tonight. So it's going to be a big change from yesterday. And we can feel it here. The thing that's kind of interesting, I was telling Ethan Eubanks, who's doing our camera tonight, I was looking at the flag out in right center field. It is blowing hard towards left field. I think if you get anything in the air to left field, you might get it out of here. It's 314 down the line on the left field side. The power alley looks like 330. Dead center is 350, and it's a short porch in right field as well. So the wind might add to the excitement of this rivalry that dates all the way back, as I mentioned, to the 1940s. The Wildcats and the Clinton Dragons, we are live at Clinton, and we'll have the first pitch of this game here in a few moments.
Batting second, playing third base, number 3, Mikey Teasley. Batting third and pitching tonight for Oak Ridge, number 9, Peyton Witter. Batting Batting fourth, playing second base, number 2, Parker Free. Batting fifth, starting at first base, number 23, Cam Welch. Batting sixth and catching, number 4, Kyron Welch. Batting seventh, starting in right field, number 12, Richie Ferrara. Batting eighth, starting in left field, number 8, Camden Britton. Batting ninth, starting in center field, number 14, Warren East. The Wildcats are coached by head coach Travis Free, assisted by Will Maddox, Kevin McKeithen, Jeremiah Ball, and Ben Peters. All right, Dragon fans, let's make some noise for the starting lineup for your Clinton Dragons. Starting at catcher, number 2, a senior, Jace Mack. Batting second, your Dragon designated hitter, number 17, a sophomore, Jackson Webb. Batting third, starting in center field, a senior, number 14, Harrison Shelton. Batting cleanup and playing first base, a senior, number 19, Garrett Lee. Batting fifth, starting at shortstop, a senior, number 8, Garrett Davis. Batting sixth and pitching tonight for the Dragons, senior left-hander, number 32, Isaiah Slavin. Batting seventh, starting at third base, a junior, number 26, Alex Duggins. Batting eighth, starting at second base, a junior, number 5, Jackson Barrett. Batting ninth, starting in right field, a junior, number 27, Dallas Beats. And starting in left field, a senior, number 16, Sam Duggins. The Dragons are coached by head coach Rob Stacy, assisted by Clegg Turpin, Dalton Long, Ben Scott, Nick Kidd, and Blake Witt. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please stand. Veterans can render a salute as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Our national anthem here from Clinton, getting ready for this Oak Ridge High School baseball game. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge taking on the Clinton Dragons. Rob Stacy, the athletic director and head coach of the Clinton Dragons, celebrating his birthday today. So we're about to get set here. As I see Freddie Fagan down here below us, he just said, let's play ball, and that means we're about to get set. Always great to come to a ball game where Freddie's in attendance. Freddie's probably been a fixture. In fact, I think if they had an election in Clinton, he would probably be elected mayor. I mean, he's got his own street named after him. He has a book about him, and he's just a fixture here in Clinton. And he's being escorted. He's here today with Alvin Taylor, the former head coach of the Clinton Dragons. His son is the head coach of the Sevier County Smoky Bears. And we're about to get set from the fairgrounds in Clinton. A beautiful day now. It wasn't nice when we first got here, but it is sure cleared off nicely as Isaiah Slavin warms up for the Clinton Dragons. They're wearing, as I mentioned, their predominantly white jerseys with black pinstripes, orange numerals. It'll be Caden Black to lead things off for the Wildcats. We'd like to welcome our audience today on Comcast Channel 1086, which is picking up our broadcast today. Normally we would have the Covering the Bases show, but today we have the ball game on, and we'll be going straight through its entirety. We normally go off at 8 o'clock with our television show, but we will be going throughout the night and through until the ball game is over on Channel 1086. The long throw down to second, and we're about to have this non-district ball game live from Clinton. As I mentioned, Ethan Eubanks is doing our camera work tonight. Got the rest of our crew up here with us as well as John Sleepy Williams, the public address announcer, announces Caden Black, and the senior will step in, and we'll just see if he gets hit by a pitch to start the ball game. Every ball game, it seems like Caden Black is hit by a pitch. Slavin, the pitcher, he is a left-hander facing the left-handed hitting Caden Black, and we are underway right now. There's a called strike at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Caden behind in the count, no balls, one strike. Wind blowing out to left and hard. Pitch outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Travis Free is the head coach of the Wildcats. Down in the third base coaching box, Will Maddox is in the first base coaching box as that pitch sails up high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jeremiah Ball, Ben Peters, Kevin McKeithen, the other coaches for the Wildcats. 2-1 pitch. That's up high. And the count is 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. I think Coach Free wanted the umpire, that pitch is cut on a miss. Coach Free thought maybe he called a strike on the previous pitch to that. And I heard the umpire say something, but I guess he said it was outside. Full count, Slavin comes to the plate, the pitch, that's ball 4. And down the first will go Caden Black. Good start for the Wildcats. As I typically say, when Caden gets on, he's going early. I don't know much about the catcher for the Clinton Dragons, Jason Mack. See what kind of arm he has. Clinton's had some success here as of late in baseball. Done a really good job resurrecting the program as that ball is hit to right. Pretty deep, but not deep enough. And Freddie says, you out, and Mikey Teasley is out on the first pitch from Slavin to him, and there's 1 out in the first inning. Peyton Witter is the batter. He'll be pitching today, getting his first start. He's been used primarily in relief. He warmed up yesterday in the game at Central's. That pitch evidently either low or outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Ethan, it's hard to do baseball, as you'll find out here in a moment when the ball is hit, because the ball goes pretty fast. Throw over to first, and Caden is back to the bag easily. 1 out, no score, just underway. Live here on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, Oak Ridge, and Clinton. We're also on BBB Communications Channel 1086. Pitch at the belt for a called strike, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Not a great crowd on hand here, but it's a make-up ball game, not on the schedule, and it's cold and windy. Throw over to first, and once again, Caden Black is back to the bag. You'll just kind of have to figure it out, Ethan, how you follow the base runners, too. When they start, if Caden starts to steal, be prepared for that at second base. He's not going on that one. He is caught in between. Here comes the throw back, and they throw the ball away, but not far enough for Caden to go. Caden went about halfway when and retreated and got back to the bag. 2 balls and 1 strike. Coach Maddox telling him something as he takes his lead off the bag at first once again. The lefty comes to the plate to Peyton Witter, cut on and missed. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Caden was retreating back to the bag. The lefty obviously very deceptive. Not going. The pitch is hit to right center field. The center fielder under it circles and makes the catch for out number 2. Batter now will be the second baseman, Parker Free. Parker has 1 home run to his credit. Did that on Saturday in the win over Westview. Wind still blowing hard. Pitch called a strike at the knees, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Hopefully the short dimensions of this field aren't too tempting for the Wildcats trying to swing in that direction. Throw to first, and Caden Black is back to the bag. I noticed when the PA announcer announced the lineups, they were different from the one given to me by, as that ball's ripped to left field, that's going to be a base hit. Caden takes a wide turn. That is a 2-out single for Parker Free. First hit of the ball game, and the batter now will be the first baseman, Camden Welch. So how did you do on that one, Ethan?
I think I did pretty well.
Okay. The many millions of viewers watching will tell us at some point. Camden Welch, lefty versus lefty here. The Wildcats have their first 2 on, or actually two runners on here in the first inning. It's cold, struggling a little bit. The wind just whips hard. That pitch is a called strike to Cam Welch, and the count is 0-1. So what I was saying, the lineup I was given before the game seemed to be a little different. So I'm going to have to go slow on the Clinton lineup as each one of them comes to bat. Pitch is down low, a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Caden's going to steal, and he is going to be safe. Either a delay steal or he just somehow got under the tag. A very, very close play at third base. Parker stayed at first. Runners on the corners. 1 ball, 1 strike to the sophomore first baseman, Camden Welch. Parker takes a short lead at first. Pitch, hit foul. Off to the left side and out of play. 2 outs, 2 on, no score. Top of the first inning on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We're also on, as I mentioned, channel 1086. Picking up our feed tonight. Place of our Covering the Bases show. Pitch, hit foul. Back to the screen. And the count is 1-2. Ethan, I have a feeling when the sun goes down, it's really going to get cold.
I bet it does.
Man, a few words. He says, yep. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, the pitch. Hit on the ground, first base side. He fields it cleanly, steps on the bag for out number 3. The Wildcats pick up a base hit and a walk. They leave them stranded. We go to the bottom of the first inning here at the fairgrounds in Clinton. The Wildcats and Dragons scoreless. We'll be back in a moment. We have a battle of left-handers today. Peyton Witter is doing his warm-up. Tosses, getting ready to face the Dragon order. I'll set the defense for the Wildcats. Camden Welch is the first baseman. Second baseman today is Parker Free. The shortstop is Caden Black. Mikey Teasley is the third baseman. Out in left field today is Cam Britton. Center fielder is Warren East. And in right field is Richie Ferreira. Kyron Welch is the catcher. And as I mentioned, Peyton Witter is the pitcher, starting pitcher in this ballgame. As I mentioned, his first start, he's been telling me all along that he's going to be a starter eventually. He's been used basically as the closer for Coach Travis Free in the games. But getting his first start against the rival Dragons. And leading things off for them, Jason Mack, the catcher, leads things off. And that part of my lineup is correct. Hitting in the number 1 spot, wearing the number 2. Dragons wearing their pinstripes. Mack stands in, lefty versus lefty, and the first pitch is a bit high, and the count is 1-0. Peyton working quickly, comes in with a called strike, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, it's hard to do baseball. I've told Ethan and Vashon and Caleb and all the guys and Cooper, all the guys who've done camera work, because that pitch is hit foul. It's hard. One camera. If you go to an Atlanta Braves game, like you did last year. Was that last year, Ethan? I guess it was. Or okay. They have like 30 cameras everywhere. I mean, we have one camera, so bear with us. We're sitting in the bleachers, too. That pitch is up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tommy and Martha Lee, they just texted me and said they're happily sitting by the fire and watching the broadcast. They at least did say stay warm. As that pitch is down low, we've got a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wind blowing hard to left. Peyton comes to the plate. Hit in the air. Foul territory coming back this way. And out of play. It's off the siding of the building that's directly. Anybody who's ever been to Clinton knows there's kind of a warehouse type building right behind us with an aluminum roof, and a lot of times the ball goes smashing off that. As that pitch is just a bit outside, and that is ball 4. Designated hitter Jackson Webb is the batter. We'll also have a courtesy runner for the Dragons. Hayden Allen will be the runner. He'll take his lead. Both leadoff men for their respective teams led off with walks. See if Peyton can hold on the runner. The first pitch is bunted right back to Witter. He's got one play, and that's to first, and that's a sacrifice and an out. And moving down to second is the courtesy runner. Center fielder John said Harrison Shelton. My lineup said Thomas, but I'll go with Harrison. I don't know these guys, as the first pitch is cut on and miss to Shelton. He's playing center field today for the Dragons. Played the Central the last 2 days. Peyton Witter, Jr. checks the runner at second. The pitch in there for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. 1 out, no score. We are in the bottom of the first inning in Clinton. Witter checks the runner. Caden Black, the shortstop, bouncing behind him. Pitch. Bounces out of the mitt of the catcher, Kyron Mitt. It's a ball. And the count is 1-2. Ethan, are you a skier?
No.
Okay. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reason I ask, I mean, you could go snowing tomorrow. Go skiing. That ball's ripped to center field. Warren East is there with a diving catch. Nice play by Warren East out in center field. He had to dive to get it. The ball was hit right on the button. And give a gold star to Warren. And here comes Garrett Lee, the first baseman. 2 outs now, runner still at second. That ball was hit well, but Warren makes the play for Oak Ridge. Right-handed hitting first baseman Garrett Lee stands in. Pitch to the plate, cut on and missed. Last night, if you watched the Atlanta Braves, they were playing the Chicago White Sox, and Ronald Acuna had one of those toboggan-like face masks. That's what Peyton is wearing pitching today, and it's that cold. That pitch just a bit above the belt, and the count is 1-1. The worst part about it is the wind. As you look at the American flag, and we'll get Ethan to get a shot of that in a moment, just how hard it is blowing. We'll get it after this pitch, Ethan. Runner at second, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch is a called strike. Swing it over to the flag real quick. You can see how hard it is blowing out from right to left. Thank you, Ethan. 1-2 pitch. Just a little bit low at the knees. Oak Ridge dugout wanted it. Might have been a little low. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I hear Coach Free said you better give me the same pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch. That's low for sure. That one was low. And Coach Free, I don't know. Umpire just kind of glanced at him when he said that to him. We all heard it. So it's nothing new. 3-2 pitch. Here it comes from Peyton. Hit well to right field. Richie Ferreira in front of the scoreboard makes the one-handed grab for out number 3. Ball was hit well, but out. We go to the top of the second. We still have a scoreless ball game. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge and the Clinton Dragons live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We're also on BBB Communications, channel 1086. We'll be back to Clinton in a moment. Welcome back once again to Clinton, the fairgrounds. I guess they still call it that. We're here for the Oak Ridge baseball game with the Clinton Dragons. Kyron Welch leads things off in the second, takes one up high, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Kai will be followed by Richie Ferreira, then Camden Britton in the Oak Ridge lineup. That pitch is down low. 2 balls and no strikes. That pitch is up high. 3 balls and no strikes. It is cold. Clinton, I think, played Scott County, I think I was told yesterday. Oak Ridge played Central. Like I said, it was 80 yesterday. That pitch is ball 4. Leadoff walk for Kai. Back-to-back innings when the Wildcats have started the ball game with a base on balls. And the batter now will be the right fielder, Richie Ferreira. Got a courtesy runner in the ball game for Kai. That's Izzy. Right fielder Richie Ferreira has words with Coach Travis Free down near the third base coaching box. Camden Britton is on deck for Oak Ridge. He'll be followed by Warren East. Izzy is the base runner at first. Good speed. Courtesy runner. We saw Caden a little reluctant to go on Slavin in the first inning. Here's the lefty coming in. He misses with 5 straight pitches. 1 ball, no strikes to Richie. Hard throwing lefty, and here comes mound visit out at the center of the diamond, and the entire Clinton infield comes in as well. Wildcats' next ball game will be Thursday. That game will be at Maryville High School. The Wildcats taking on the Maryville Rebels. They do not play this weekend. They do play next week. They play on Monday and Tuesday. I think the opponent is the Campbell County Cougars. And then I think the Wildcats will play at the end of the week next week. They'll play Catholic, I think, on Thursday. And then they'll head up to Dobbins Bennett to take on various opponents. And we'll try to broadcast those games from Kingsport. Here's a throw over, and Izzy back to the bag safely. Richie's ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes the pitch. That's way up high. 6 straight out of the strike zone for the Dragon hurler, Isaiah Slavin. Richie doesn't need to take the bat off the shoulder until he can throw a strike, and he does there. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Like I said, Caden was a little reluctant when he was on first earlier to run. You know, the Wildcats like to run early. Now, Izzy is running, but that's a foul. Back to the screen, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ethan, how's football workouts going for you?
I'd say they're going pretty well.
I know you'll be a rising senior, a starter on the line last year. What kind of a team will we have?
I'd say it's mostly like the same group of people besides like Brandon Hayward, Monty, and all of them.
Base hit for the Wildcats right through the vacated hole. Izzy is heading towards third. Does draw the throw. Richie's going to go into second, and that is a hustle double for Richie Ferreira. Well, it's a single, and maybe he advanced to third on the throw. Either way, the Wildcats have runners at second and third. Perfect hit for the Wildcats. The vacated hole, the shortstop, to cover the bag because Izzy was heading down the line. And the Wildcats have runners at second and third with nobody out. Cam Britton steps in. Right-handed hitting sophomore. The pitch to him is up high, a ball right at shoulder level. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Cam plays a little outfield for the Wildcats. Getting the start today, hitting in the number 8 spot. Slavin comes in. That pitch, a called strike at the knees, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. No score, but the Wildcats threatening here in the second. They've got runners at second and third, nobody out. Warren East on deck for the Wildcats. Cam trying to drive in a run. Pitch, called strike 2. Took one at the knees on the corner, and the count is 1-2. RBI opportunity for the young left fielder. Slavin looks in for the sign. The 2-strike pitch. Just a little inside, I guess, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coach Free yelling out instructions to his left fielder. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Richie Ferreira at second. Izzy at third. The pitch cut on a missed. And that is a strikeout. That's the first out of the inning. And the batter now will be Warren East. Warren, a freshman, hitting in the number 9 spot. He's gone deep this season. Did it at Bearden a couple weeks ago. He checks his little, I don't know what they call it, arm band, what has the different plays called out. They don't do the signals like they used to do back in the old days from third. They just check their wristbands, which he has actually in his right back pocket. Squares to bunt, bunts it. That's going to get the Wildcats a run. Izzy Mitchell scores, and the Wildcats lead at 1-0. That's an RBI single for Warren. Pitcher really didn't have much of a chance because Izzy just came charging down the line. Perfectly placed bunt, and the Wildcats on the squeeze score the first run of the ball game as Izzy comes in to score run number 1. Give an RBI to Warren East, and the Wildcats lead it 1-0. Back to the top of the order we go. The Wildcats still have base runners, one out now. Caden Black, the hitter, he walked back in the first inning. 1-0 Oak Ridge. Slavin's pitch. Caden squares to bunt, and the Wildcats will get another stolen base. Warren is now at second. Wildcats with Richie Ferreira at third. One strike the count, one out, one in. The Wildcats leading the Dragons 1-0 here at Clinton. Infield comes in. Caden swings and hits it foul. Over to the houses over behind the field. And Caden Black behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Mikey Teasley's on deck for Oak Ridge. Caden walked in the first inning, stole a base, was stranded on the base paths. Slavin comes to the plate, bounced to the plate, and here comes another run. Wildcats advanced runners. That one bounced to the plate. In to score is Richie Ferreira, and the Wildcats now lead the Dragons by a score of 2-0. Moving over to third is Warren East. One ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Hit hard and to right field for another base hit. Caden Black has an RBI single, maybe a double as he's heading towards second. Here's the throw, and they call him out. I don't believe it, but that's the call. There's no recourse, Caden. You got to come off. The throw was there, and they ruled him out. Caden doesn't believe it. I don't believe it. The left side of the field believes it. Either way, it's an RBI single for Caden Black. In to score is Warren East. Now nobody's aboard, but the Wildcats have 3 on the board in the second inning to lead the Dragons 3-0. Pitch is hit foul. Back our way. Off the netting. One strike the count, 2 outs, 3 in for the Wildcats. Slavin trying to erase Mikey Teasley here. The 1-strike pitch to him is hit in the right field. That's another base hit. Wildcat hit parade continues. That is the 4th, maybe the 5th hit of the ball game. The Wildcats hits have come from Mikey Teasley, Parker Free, Richie Ferreira, and Warren East. And here's Peyton Witter. Peyton flew out to center field in the first inning. Runner at first, Mikey Teasley. Wildcats have scored 3 times this inning. That pitch is a called strike. Parker's on deck for the Wildcats. Lefty, runner going, pitch is in the dirt. That's a stolen base for Mikey Teasley. So the Wildcats have yet another base runner in scoring position. Ball bounced at the plate, and Mack couldn't corral it behind the plate. Slavin trying to get out of this inning. He's been hit pretty hard this inning. Of course, one of the more exciting plays was the squeeze play by the Wildcats with Izzy Mitchell scoring on the Warren East. Perfect bunt back to the pitcher. Runner going to third. Pitch is high. Here's Mack's throw, and not in time. That's another stolen base. Wildcats running all over the Dragons here in this inning. That is the 2nd stolen base for Mikey Teasley this inning. And Peyton Witter bats with a 1-2 count. Pitch. Ripped to left. There's another base hit. Means another run. Slavin has given up 4 in this inning. It's an RBI single for Peyton. And Mikey Teasley comes in to score. Peyton Witter has a single and an RBI. And the Wildcats now lead the Dragons 4-0. And the batter is Parker Free. Carson Fagan is the base runner running for Peyton Witter. The pitch is a called strike. There's 2 outs, 1 on, 4 in. The Wildcats with their 5th hit just a moment ago. As Slavin checks the runner, Fagan comes to the plate. There's another called strike, and the count is 0-2 to Parker Free. Parker had a single his first plate appearance. We're on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, on BBB Communications 1086. Carson is going. Here's a ball hit to center field and deep, but the center fielder is there to make the play. That is Harrison Shelton. But the Wildcats score 4 times, 5 hits, actually 4 hits in the inning for the Wildcats. Wildcats lead the Dragons 4-0. We'll be back to Clinton on BBB Communications channel 1086, along with our YouTube channel Prep Radio in a moment. Welcome back to Clinton. First pitch from Peyton Witter to the leadoff man, Garrett Davis, the shortstop. He flies out to center field. And the Wildcats, 1 pitch, 1 out for Peyton Witter. A 4-run inning just a moment ago for the Wildcats have given the Wildcats a 4-0 lead. The batter now will be, I believe, the pitcher, Slavin, as that pitch is hit foul back to the screen. Defensively for the Wildcats, no changes. Peyton Witter comes to the plate, hit foul again. Count is 0-2. 1 out, nobody aboard. The Wildcats on top, 4-0 over the Clinton Dragons. Teasley is the third baseman. Caden Black is the shortstop. Parker Free at second. Peyton Witter, a little outside, maybe a little low, and the count is 1-2. Camden Welch is the first baseman. Richie Ferreira is in right. Warren East in center. That's up high. And the count is 2-2. Cam Britton's out in left field. The center fielder is Warren East. Witter bounces, comes to the plate, a little bit outside. Maybe needs to slow down just a bit. He's working very rapidly. He just gets the ball and goes. He's ready. He looks for the sign from Kai Welch, the catcher. 3-2 pitch. Cut on a missed. That is a swinging strikeout, and that is the first strikeout of the ball game for Peyton Witter. Batter now will be the third baseman. That is, looks like Alex Duggins. Duggins, a little right-handed hitter. 2 up and 2 down for the Dragons here in the second. Witter trying to make quick work of our friends from Anderson County, as that pitch is a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Chilly, windy day here at Clinton. Pitch, that's a ball. belt high, maybe a little above it. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes. I like how fast Peyton works. He just gets it and throws it. That pitch is ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Wildcats have 4 runs on 5 hits. The Dragons had a base runner, a walk to leadoff man Mack, but that's their only base runner. There's a called strike, and the count is 3-1. So I mentioned Oak Ridge will play Maryville on Thursday at Maryville. Pitch. There's a called strike. Evens the count. Actually makes it a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Beautiful day now. It was rainy and overcast. That pitch is called strike 3, and that is out number 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Peyton Witter. The Dragons do nothing. We go to the 3rd inning. Oak Ridge on top 4-0, and we'll be back in a moment. Cam Welch leads things off for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge on top of the Dragons 4-0 as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Pitch hit on the ground to the shortstop this time. He boots it. Error on the Dragons shortstop, and that is Garrett Davis, and the Wildcats have their leadoff man aboard for the 3rd consecutive inning as Cam Welch reaches base safely. Kai walked back in the 1st inning. Actually walked in the 1st inning. Actually to lead off the 2nd inning. My apologies. My handwriting is not the best, especially when I'm shivering a bit. 3rd inning. Runner at first. Checking the runner, the pitch. That's down low, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Runner at first, and Cam Welch back to the bag. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. Wildcats have 5 hits, 4 runs have scored. Pitch to Kai. Belt high for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck for the Wildcats is Richie Ferreira. Richie had a single, scored a run in that very productive 2nd. That pitch a little bit low, perhaps inside. The count is 2-1. Left-handed throwing hurler for the Dragons. Checks the runner at first. Not going. The pitch. Cut on a missed. Kai swings through it, and the count is 2-2. Rob Stacy is the head coach of the Dragons. Travis Free, the head coach of the Wildcats. Runner is going this time. Pitch is high. Max throw is high, and that is a stolen base for Cam Welch. And the Wildcats have a runner in scoring position and a full count on his brother, Kyron Welch, the senior. Cam, the runner at 2nd, is a sophomore. Kai, one of the few seniors that plays a lot. I mean, we have a lot of seniors, as that pitch is cut on and missed. And that is a strikeout. And that is the first out of the third inning. And the batter now will be Richie Ferreira. Richie had a single, could have been classified as a double. I think he honestly advanced to second on the throw. As Richie stands in, the pitch to him is at his ankles, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. 4-0 Wildcats. Richie ahead in the count 1-0. That one almost took him down. Count is 2-0. Wind's still blowing, but it doesn't seem to be as bad as it was up here as it was when we first started the ball game. You're maybe right. Ethan says maybe we just got used to it. Of course, Ethan didn't say it into the microphone. Ethan?
Maybe we just got used to it.
Thank you. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runner down at second is Camden Welch. Going to third. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground. Beautiful play again. Great hit and run baseball. The Wildcats are going to score a base. The third baseman went to cover the bag at third, and he hit the ball perfectly where he had vacated because Cam had run towards third to steal the base, and the Wildcats have yet another run. Cam Welch scores the 5th run of the ball game. Richie is now 2 for 2 in the ball game with an RBI and a run scored. And the batter for the Wildcats now will be Cam Britton. Runner first, Ferreira. The pitch, he bunts it. Up to the pitcher, he fields it, throws in time. That is a sacrifice for Cam Britton. Moving down to second will go Richie Ferreira. And the Wildcats have 2 outs now. 1 run in. They lead it by a score of 5-0. And the batter now will be Warren East. Warren had a perfectly placed bunt to knock in a run on a squeeze play in the second inning. He stole a base and scored one of the Wildcats' 5 runs. Runner at second, the pitch. Hit him. Down to first will go Warren East. First batter hit in the ball game today. And the Wildcats have runners at first and second. And the batter now will be Caden Black. Caden walked, stole a base in the first, was stranded, had a single and an RBI in the second inning. So he's officially 1 for 1 in the ball game. Senior shortstop with runners on the first and second. Pitches down low. Mack came bouncing out of his position on a low pitch, and the count is 1-0. 5-0 Wildcats, third inning from the fairgrounds in Clinton. Live if you're watching on 1086 and Prep Radio, as that pitch is on the inside corner at the knees, and the count is 1-1. That single that Caden had last, he was gunned out at second base, or it would have been a double. 1 ball, 1 strike. Black steps out, calls timeout, granted by the umpire. Warren East is a runner at first base. Richie Ferreira is at second. Mikey Teasley's on deck for the Wildcats. Black steps in, the pitch to him. Ripped right up the middle. Nice play by the shortstop. He didn't step on the bag, but he does throw out Caden Black for the out. But the Wildcats pick up another run. They leave 1 stranded. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Oak Ridge on top of the Clinton Dragons here in Clinton as you're watching this game live on our YouTube channel Prep Radio or on Comcast BBB Communications channel 1086. And we'll be back to Clinton in a moment. Welcome back once again to Clinton. That ball just foul as the Dragons bat here in the third inning. No balls and one strike. 5-0 Wildcats as the Dragons bat in the bottom of the third inning. No balls and one strike. Peyton Witter pitching for Oak Ridge. One strike the count, the pitch. Cut on and missed. Jackson Barrett, the batter, the second baseman for the Dragons. Knocks in Camden Welch. That pitch is a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Pitch, hit on the ground. Third base side, Mikey Teasley fields, throws on the first in time for out number 1. Number 9 batter for the Dragons stands in.
Right fielder, number 27, Dallas Beats.
Right fielder Dallas Beats. Hitting in the number 9 spot, catcher Jason Mack is on deck. He, so far, is the only base runner of the day for the Dragons. He walked to open up the first inning. Witter comes in, cut on and missed.
Which one's Camden? Just say Camden.
No balls and one strike, the pitch. Low and inside, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out. We're in the bottom of the third inning from Clinton, 5-0 Wildcats.
Camden Welch.
That pitch is a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peyton has 2 strikeouts already in the ball game, looking for number 3. Beats stands back in, the pitch. There's number 3 for Peyton Witter, and that is out number 2 here in the third inning. Back to the top of the order we go to the catcher, Jason Mack. He walked and was stranded in the first inning. Two outs. Left-handed batter, the pitch. There's a breaking pitch of some sort, and the count is 0-1. 2 outs, nobody aboard for Clinton as they bat on their home field. Pitch hit on the ground. 1 hop to Mikey Teasley. Throws across the diamond in time for out number 3. So 3 up and 3 down for Peyton Witter in the third. We go to the fourth inning. The Wildcats lead the Dragons 5-0. We'll be back to Clinton in a moment. Welcome back once again to Clinton. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top of the Clinton Dragons by a score of 5-0. Mikey Teasley leads things off in the fourth inning. Mikey today flew out to right, actually lined out to right, singled, stole 2 bases, and scored a run. He is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Okay, thank you. That pitch almost hits Mikey, and they say it did, and down he'll go. Actually, the game is Friday, I was just told. Thank you. The Maryville game is Friday. My apologies for that. As Mikey Teasley hit by a pitch. So he's been on base twice. The batter now will be Peyton Witter. Peyton today, let's see, had a single and an RBI, lined out to center field. Timeout is asked for. Umpire granted time to the right-handed hitting, left-handed throwing Peyton Witter. Pitch. There's a called strike in the knees, and the count is 0-1. I'll probably get a chance to talk to Peyton after the ball game. He's been my favorite interview target this year. I'm going to ask him why he bats right and throws left. That's a little unusual. Pitch to him is a called strike, and the count is 0-2. Mikey has a couple of stolen bases in this game. He's the base runner at first. Slavin checks the runner. Mikey's going. The pitch hit on the ground to the shortstop. They avoid the double play, and Mikey is down at second base, and Peyton grounds out. So sending the runner kept from the Wildcats having a double play. And Parker stands in. Parker is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Had a single in the first inning. Flew out to center field in the second. Pitch to him is a called strike at the knees. And the count is 0-1. Fourth inning, 5-0 Wildcats. Mikey's going to third. Ball is hit in the air. He's going to have to retreat. First baseman is under it, and he makes the catch just behind the bag for the second out of the inning. Better now will be Cam Welch. Cam, let's see, was out 3 unassisted back in the first inning. Reached on an error in the third inning. Stole a base and came in to score on the Richie Ferreira single. Wildcats on top 5-0. The pitch to Cam bounced at the plate, and the count is 1-0. Cam will be followed by his older brother, Kai Welch. But everybody has contributed. In fact, everybody has contributed to the 5-0 lead. Here comes the throw to third. It's another stolen base for the Wildcats as Mikey Teasley has his third stolen base of the ball game. Now a wild pitch or a pass ball can get him in. There are 2 outs, 1 ball, 1 strike to Cam. Slavin checks the runner. The pitch hit foul. And the count is 1-2. 5-0 Wildcats in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Dragons will have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in their lineup. Pitch. Hit well. Hit to center field, but not well enough as the center fielder makes the catch for out number 3. The Wildcats pick up a base runner. They leave him stranded. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning here at the Fairgrounds in Clinton, live on our YouTube channel Prep Radio and on BBB Communications channel 1086. The Wildcats lead the Dragons 5-0, and we'll be back to Clinton in a moment. Welcome back once again to Clinton. The Wildcats on top by a score of 6-0 over the Clinton Dragons. Designated hitter, Jackson Webb is the batter. Jackson had a sacrifice bunt back in the first inning, so no official plate appearances. Peyton Witter beginning his fourth inning of work. His team on top of the Dragons 5-0. Peyton comes to the plate. Pitch a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Lefty versus lefty. 1-0 pitch. That's a called strike at the letters, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the fourth inning. Witter down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ethan Eubanks doing camera work for us. I'm going to say it once again, the Maryville game is Friday. I think I said Thursday earlier. That pitch is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Webb is the number 2 hitter in their lineup. Don't want to put him on base, and that pitch is a ball, and that is the second walk of the ball game for Peyton Witter.
Next up, the Dragons, the center fielder, number 14,
Harrison Shelton, the center fielder, he lined out to Warren East, who made a really, really nice play on a diving attempt. Made the great play to save a base hit for his pitcher. Here's the throw over to first, and back to the bag will go Jackson. We're in the fourth inning, 5-0 Wildcats. Oak Ridge has out-hit the Dragons. I believe that's 6-0. Witter once again throws over to first, and back to the bag he goes. Chilly, windy night. The wind's kind of died down just a little bit. It's now blowing a little bit more from right towards the home plate area. Short lead at first. Witter comes to the plate. Up high ball. 5-0 Wildcats. Peyton has the sign from Kai Welch. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Called strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. As I mentioned, when we first got here, it was a little warmer than it is now. It's the home plate umpire. I'm not exactly sure what was said. Not sure if that was Freddie or not. I'm not sure. Whatever was said, I don't know what was said, to be honest with you. But he got the attention of everybody. Nobody is talking at all. 1 ball and 1 strike. Umpire stopped play just for a second, as I mentioned. Pitch. There's strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Shelton will be followed by Garrett Lee in their lineup. 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Hit well, and that is the first hit of the ball game for the Dragons. In the right field it goes, going for second. Here's the throw, and he is safe. That is a double. He hit the ball hard the first time, did Harrison, and they've got runners at second and third with nobody out here in the fourth inning. As I mentioned, Harrison hit a rocket to center in his first plate appearance. And if not for a nice play by Warren East out in center field, they would have had their first hit back then. Now they've got 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out. And the batter will be the first baseman, Garrett Lee. Garrett flew out to Richie Ferreira in the first inning to close out that frame. Hitting in the number 4 spot, hit that ball well. Peyton, his first trouble. Did have 1 base runner on in the first inning, but now he's got runners at second and third. Witter working quickly. The pitch. Called a strike at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Garrett Lee, the batter. Garrett Davis is on deck. Pitch. bit high above the belt, and the count is even at 1 strike. Peyton Witter working quickly. Kai has the sign, signaling in from the Oak Ridge staff. That pitch is swung on and missed, and the count is 1-2. I know we have less fans than we typically do, sitting back enjoying the warm weather. 1-2 pitch, hit in the air, center field. Warren East in on it, no tag, and the throw comes in. Nice throw. Warren did a really good job circling, coming in, and preparing himself to sling it in case they did tag, and that's just an out, and that's out number 1 here in the 4th inning.
Shortstop, number 8, Garrett Davis.
Better now is Garrett Davis. He's the shortstop. He flew out to Warren to open up the bottom of the 2nd inning, so he's 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Sun beginning to set. The lights have been on since the beginning. Beautiful night now. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Peyton to the plate. Wanted to call a strike, but evidently just a little outside, and the count is 1-0. Cut on and missed. 1 strike. It's very true. I'm not going to say it on the air, but it's very true. 1 strike. Peyton Witter comes to the plate. That's up high, about shoulder level, and the count is 2-1. On deck for the Dragons, they've got Isaiah Slavin. Peyton trying to get this guy. That pitch is down low, and the count now is 3 strike. He's 1 pitch away from perhaps loading the bases. Peyton comes. He does. Ball 4. Second walk of the inning, 3rd walk of the game. Coach Job Ball is going to come out and have words with him. We are live here in Clinton on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. The Wildcats taking on the Clinton Dragons. We are also broadcasting this live game on BBB Communications channel, Comcast channel 1086. So we welcome all our viewers on the cable and our internet watchers on YouTube on our channel, Prep Radio. Coach Ball, quick word there with Peyton Witter. Wildcats have a conversation right in front of the bag at 2nd. The Dragons came over to the dugout to talk it over with Coach Stacy. The base runners all over. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd bases full of Dragons. In the 4th inning, Oak Ridge on top 5-0. The batter will be Slavin. He was a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. He is 0 for 1 in the ballgame. You can hear the Oak Ridge dugout led by Izzy Mitchell giving encouragement to Peyton Witter, his left-handed throwing junior. Pitch. Hit well. That's going to be a base hit. 1 run at least will score. And the stop sign is thrown up. Now he comes in. He delayed at first, and they have 2 on the board. Line drive, base hit by Slavin, I believe. And in to score comes Webb and Shelton, and it is 5-2.
Courtesy runner for Slavin, number 10, Braden
Hensley, courtesy runner, will come on to run for the pitcher. So the Dragons are on the board. 5-2 the score now. The batter now will be Alex Duggins. Alex was a strikeout victim looking back in the 2nd inning. Couple of hits, a couple walks, and the Dragons have 2 on the board. Alex Duggins, right-handed hitter. Pitch. Squares to bunt. Runner not going. I guess they called that a strike. No balls and 1 strike. They've got runners at 1st and 2nd. Good lead for both of them. Camden Welch, the first baseman, playing behind the base runner. Caden Black, the shortstop, retreats back to his position. They squared a butt once again, right back to the pitcher. They had a play at 3rd, but Peyton's going to go the sure out at 1st. And advancing down to 2nd and 3rd will go the runners. the courtesy runner for Slavin and Garrett Davis.
Up a second baseman, number 5, Jackson Barrett.
Jackson Barrett, the batter now. He is the second baseman. He is 0 for 1 in the ball game. Grounded out to Mikey Teasley to open the third inning. Peyton trying to end this inning right here, trying to limit the damage. He's given up a couple hits and a couple runs. He's walked a couple, but his team still leads the Dragons 5-2. Kanana missed. Kana's 0-2. Barrett is the number 8 hitter in Coach Rob Stacy's lineup. Birthday boy today. A little under the weather, but playing his Wildcats. That pitch is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 4th inning. 5-2 Wildcats. Taking on the Dragons here in Clinton. Peyton Witter comes to the plate. Hit on the ground. Shortstop, Caden Black. Convenient hop. Throws on the first, and he throws it away, and 2 runs will score. The Dragons. And that throw, first Caden had a little trouble getting it out of his glove, and then he thought he had to rush the throw, and when he did, he threw it wide of the bag, and they put 2 more runs on the board. That is an error by the Wildcats, and we've got a ball game. 5-4 the score, and the tying run is at second base.
Next up for the Dragons, the right fielder.
Right fielder Dallas Beats is the batter. He was a strikeout victim in the 3rd inning. Those runs are unearned, but they all count just the same. 5-4 the score. Just checking. Beats the batter. Pitch to him is a called strike. 2 hits in the inning, 2 walks, an error. And the Dragons have scored 4 times. Peyton Witter comes to the plate. That pitch down low. Top of the order, and Jason Mack on deck. This is the 8th man to bat in the 4th. Pitch. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. 5-4 Wildcats. Non-district ball game from Clinton. Kind of threatening skies up towards Campbell County way. Looks good towards Oak Ridge. Here's a throwback, and almost had a pickoff play. The ball glanced off the glove of Caden Black. I think they had him. He was dead to rights, but the ball glanced off his glove, and back in the box will go the batter, and that'll be Dallas Beats. 2 balls and 1 strike to him. Peyton comes to the plate. Outside again. 3 balls and 1 strike. So I mentioned the top of the order waiting for Peyton. He's thrown a lot of pitches in this 4th inning. 3 balls, 1 strike. Kai Welsh with the sign. The long look in. He's ready. Peyton with a 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. So 3rd walk of the inning for Witter. And they've got runners at 1st and 2nd. And the 9th man to bat in the inning will be the catcher, Jace Mack. He walked in the 1st inning, grounded out to Mikey Teasley in the 2nd. As I mentioned, he's the 9th guy to bat in this inning. They've put 4 on the board to make it a 5-4 ball game. Wildcats in the lead, 4th inning. Witter comes to the plate to Mack. Pitches a strike at the belt, and the count is 0-1. He hits from the left side. Peyton throws from the left side. Trying to close out the 4th with no further damage. Jackson Webb's on deck. The pitch. Inside, and the count is 1-1. Friday, Oak Ridge at Maryville. Monday and Tuesday, Oak Ridge takes on Campbell County. Thursday, I believe it's Catholic. 1-1 pitch, ball two. 2 balls and 1 strike. Looking in the Oak Ridge bullpen. Looks like John Ulrich might be warming up for the Wildcats. Runners at first and second. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch. Hit on the ground. Second baseman Parker Free gets a convenient hop, throws on the first in time for out number 3. But the Dragons, they score 4 times. They do it with 2 hits, 3 walks, and an error. We go to the top of the 5th inning here at Clinton. The Wildcats on top, 5-4, and we'll be back to Clinton in a moment. Welcome back to Clinton. The Wildcats on top of the Dragons, now 5-4. The Wildcats have to go back to work offensively. Slavin back in the ball game. His team got him 4 runs. He was part of that as well. Kyron Welch leads things off for the Wildcats. Slavin to Kyron. The pitch is high, 1 ball and no strikes. Two balls and no strikes to Kyron Welch. 5-4 our score, top of the 5th inning. Kai back in, the pitch to him, hit foul. Back and out of play on top of the building, off the top of the aluminum siding. And Kai will have a 2-1 count. Kai today, let's see, he's walked and he has struck out. So officially 0 for 1 with the walk. Pitch to the plate. Called strike at the knees, and the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch to Kai. Hit on the infield. Pitcher under at first baseman 2. It's the pitcher. Makes a little basket catch for the first out of the inning. And the batter now for the Wildcats will be Richie Ferreira. Richie's had a really good day. He's 2 for 2 in the ball games, knocked in a run and scored a run. Camden Britton on deck for the Wildcats. 1 out, nobody aboard. Slavin has found his rhythm after a really rough 1 inning where he gave up 4 runs, but has been pretty good since. Lefty versus lefty. Here's the pitch to Richie. Way up high, 1 ball and no strikes. Britton's on deck, and then Warren East. 1 out Fifth inning, 5-4. Richie takes one inside, I guess, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the screen, and the count is 2-1. That's high. 3 balls and 1 strike to Richie Ferreira. We're live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. Ethan Eubanks is doing camera for us. We're also on BBB Communications channel 1086 on Comcast today. That pitch is a called strike. And we've got a full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. We have struggled to get a Covering the Bases show on Wednesday. We have either ball games or various things that have kept us from doing the show. Slavin steps off the rubber. Got a 3-2 count on Richie Ferreira. Pitch. Almost hit him. Ball 4. So Richie has been on base 3 times, and he's fired up about that. The batter now will be Cam Britton. Cam in the ballgame had a sacrifice his last plate appearance. 0 for 1 officially. Checking the signs from Coach Travis Free down in the third base coaching box. Warren East is on deck for the Wildcats. Warren has been hit by a pitch, had a single, an RBI, stole a base, and scored a run. Pitch to Cam is on the inside corner for a called strike. Runner at first is Richie Ferreira. Wildcats have several stolen bases in this game. See what Richie does. Short lead at first, inching off the bag. He is going. Pitch to Cam is high, and so is the throw. It goes into center field, but not far enough, and Richie Ferreira has another stolen base. Let me see how many that is for the Wildcats tonight. I've got Oak Ridge with 7 stolen bases to this point. The Wildcats have a runner in scoring position, a 1 ball, 1 strike count on Camden Britton. That pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Warren East is on deck for the Wildcats. Richie out at second. Cam back in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Up high, inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Little timeout is asked for as and Coach Stacy wants to talk to his left-hander. He's thrown a lot of pitches. He's still throwing hard. A little bit out of the zone as it gets chillier and chillier. Wind now blowing in, but not nearly as hard. See what Coach Stacy elects to do. He hasn't come out to visit, I don't believe, Slavin to this point. Friday, the Wildcats travel to Maryville. As I mentioned, next week, Monday and Tuesday, the Wildcats play Campbell County. Then I believe Thursday's game is against Catholic at Catholic a week from tomorrow. And then the Wildcats are going up to Kingsport Dobbins-Bennett, and they're going to play a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday series up in Kingsport. Several good games up in the area where Coach Travis Free played his high school ball. Coach Ball played at Dobbins-Bennett, and so very familiar with that territory. Cam Britton back in, 3 balls and 1 strike to him. Sophomore left fielder for the Wildcats tonight. Batting from the right side against the left-handed thrower, and a little delay. Evidently the play call didn't get into the catcher correctly. Cam didn't step out, I didn't believe, but Slavin steps off the rubber. 3 balls and 1 strike. Richie at second. The pitch. Oh, boy, that's below the knees. That pitch was below the knees, and Cam didn't like it. And that is Strike two, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three balls and 2 strikes. Pitch, hit foul. Stayed alive, hit the ball into the parking area, and hit something. It didn't sound like the aluminum of that building. It sounded like a big truck. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Richie Ferreira, the runner at second. Cam Britton has a full count on him. Oak Ridge dugout starting to make a little noise. Oak Ridge now with a slim 5-4 lead. They led 5-0, but the Dragons scored 4 times the last time. Pitch. That's ball 4. Runner going to third. Richie Ferreira with a stolen base. And the Wildcats have runners on the corners. Good at bat there for Camden Britton. And a nice stolen base there for Richie. For Richie, that is his second stolen base. And Warren East is the batter. Warren had a single on a bunt and an RBI, a stolen base, hit by a pitch, and has scored a run. Wildcats trying to get some of those runs back. Camden's got good speed. He's the base runner at first. Coach Maddox giving him instructions. The pitch to Warren is way up high. 1 ball and no strikes. 5-4, a good game going on here at the fairgrounds. The Wildcats in the lead as they bat in the 5th inning. See if Camden goes on this pitch. Warren gets tired of waiting on Slavin, steps out of the box. I'm guessing Cam Britton is going to head towards second right now. Warren steps in, not going. That pitch is a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. I guess Coach Freeze says, let's let him throw you a strike. As he looks across the diamond, has the signal from Coach Free. Cam does. Richie is the base runner at third. Now he's going. The pitch cut on a miss. Here's the throw. Here comes the throw back. Not in time! The Wildcats score! Oak Ridge scores. They even set up the play where they set up in front of the bag, but Richie's still able to steal, and the Wildcats have a run. And in to score Richie Ferreira, the second run of the ball game for him. Give a stolen base to him as well, and to Camden Britton, and he's in scoring position, and it's now 6-4. What a big lead for Cam, not going. The pitch is a called strike to Warren East. The count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 in. The Wildcats in the lead, 6-4. Top of the order, and Caden Black on deck for the Wildcats. Britton takes his lead off of second, going to third. Ball is hit in the air, center field. Camden's going to have to retreat quickly back to the bag. He does, and the out is recorded out in center field. So there's 2 outs now, and the batter will be Caden Black. Caden walked and stole a base in the first inning, singled in a run. His second plate appearance, grounded out to short in his third plate appearance. Officially, he is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Runner at second base, Cam Britton. Caden, pitch to him, down low a ball. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. You know, Coach Free's very aggressive. Sometimes he does send the runner to third in this situation. Cam is taking a pretty good-sized lead. He was going a moment ago, not going this time. Called strike to Black, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 6-4, Oak Ridge, as they bat in the 5th inning here in a chilly night in Clinton. Game started late, obviously, a rare 7 o'clock start time. 1-1 pitch, ripped to the third baseman. He makes the catch for out number 3. The ball was hit hard, but out. So the Wildcats do pick up a run. They leave a runner stranded. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Clinton. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top of the Clinton Dragons by a score of 6-4. And we'll be back to Clinton in a moment. Welcome back once again to Clinton as that pitch is hit softly to left field, and that's a leadoff hit against John Ulrich, who is in relief of Peyton Witter. So one pitch, and Webb has a base hit. He scored a run back in the second. Peyton Witter pitched the first 4 innings. Batter now is Harrison Shelton. He had a double and scored a run back in the 4th inning when they scored their 4 runs. John Ulrich, tall, senior, right-hander. And there's some discussion out on the down behind the plate between Coach Travis Free and the umpire. Center fielder Harrison Shelton doubled, as I mentioned, and scored. Lined out to Warren East in the first inning. He is 1-4-2 in the ball game. Runner at first. John comes to the plate. Fastball in for a called strike. Pitch down low, and the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Runner at first, nobody out. 6-4 Wildcats. Ulrich comes to the plate, hit foul. Off to the left side, and the count is 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. John Ulrich checks the runner at first. Nobody out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Batter gets tired of waiting on him and steps out of the box. Pitch cut on a missed, and that is a strikeout. And that is the first out of the inning, and the first time that he hasn't made solid contact, and that is out number 1 in the 5th inning. And the batter now for the Dragons will be Garrett Lee. Garrett is 0 for 2 in the ball game. He flew out to right field in the first inning, flew out to center field in the 4th inning. Clinton has a runner at first. Leadoff single to left for Jackson Webb, and he's still there. As that pitch is a called strike, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. John to the plate, hits him. Took something off of it and hits him, and they've got runners at first and second.
Shortstop, number 8, Garrett Davis.
Runners at first and second for the Dragons, and John and Kai Welch trying to get together. Wildcats have a lead of 6-4. Now looks like Coach Ball coming out to talk to his senior pitcher. Oak Ridge on top 6-4, but the Dragons with a little bit of a threat going in the 5th. They've got runners at first and second with 1 out. Garrett Davis is the batter. He flew out to center field in the 2nd inning, walked and scored a run in the 4th inning. There are 4 runs. 2 of them were unearned. Wildcats committed a crucial error in that inning, which allowed 2 runs to score. Peyton Witter, pitcher of record for the Wildcats, but John Ulrich in a little bit of a jam. Gave up a single and just a moment ago hit Garrett Lee. Now he's facing the number 5 hitter in their order, who is 0 for 1 in the ballgame with a walk and a run scored. That pitch is hit to right field. Richie Ferreira back to the warning track. Not quite to it. He makes the catch. Tagging. Here comes the throw in. Not in time. It's an out, though. A long out. And he left the bag early. He didn't tag up. And good call by the umpire. He took off before Richie ever even caught the ball and took off to third. And that is a double play and a really, really poor decision by Jackson Webb. There's no doubt in my mind he left early. The ball was still in the air, and he had started towards third. Coach Stacy argues the point, but that's not what I saw. And this is a heated argument out on the field. It's a double play. No replay in high school baseball. The inning comes to a close, and that officially is a 9-6 double play. And Coach Stacy is still arguing. Coach Stacy, he is fired up, and I think it's Coach Stacy, and got his team fired up as the Wildcats lead it by a score of 6-4. Wow, you talk about, he left early. I mean, that's the way it appeared to me, unless he's just got roadrunner speed, because I looked and he was already halfway between second and third, and it's a double play. Top of the 6th inning, 6-4 Wildcats. We'll be back in a moment. David Clary back here along with Ethan Eubanks on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We're also on BBB Communications channel 1086. Wildcats and Dragons. This game is live if you're watching channel, what used to be channel 12, now channel 1086. This game is live as the Wildcats will bat here in the 6th inning. Leading things off will be Mikey Teasley. Mikey, let's see, flew out to right field, lined out to right field in the 1st inning. Single, stole a couple bases and scored a run. Was hit by a pitch and stole a run as well. Pitch to him is hit on the ground, third base side, takes a funny hop off the cusp, but Mikey is retired for the 1st out. I think the coach got the Dragons fired up over in their dugout as Mikey grounds out, and Peyton Witter is the batter. Let's see what Peyton has done today. Flew out to center field, had an RBI single, and grounded out to short. Right-handed hitter, left-handed thrower. That pitch cut on a miss. Slavin's found a new gear. I think the argument fired up the Dragon bench for sure. 6-4, the Wildcats lead it as they bat in the 6th inning. Pitch to Peyton, cut on a miss. And he's behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Ethan, you cold?
A little bit. It's a little chilly.
A little chilly.
Yeah, just a little bit.
The wind continues to blow too. Peyton Witter back in, 0-2 pitch. Hit in the air, foul territory, coming back our way. And out of play. Somebody in the Oak Ridge dugout trying to get away from it. A little slippage down in the dugout. I guess everybody's okay. Peyton returns to the batter's box. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. Chile, Clinton, Tennessee. Tonight, the Wildcats on top 6-4. Oh, 2 pitch, hit foul. Back to the screen, and Witter stays ahead or stays alive, 0-2. To mention, Friday the Wildcats will play Maryville at Maryville. Monday and Tuesday the Wildcats play Campbell County. Thursday Catholic, and then the Kingsport. Here's another 0-2 pitch. Hit foul up the third base line. So he fell behind 0-2 with swings and misses. He's fouled off 3 consecutive pitches. The count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. 6-4 Wildcats. The Wildcats have out hit the Dragons 6-3. Both teams have committed an error. Pitch. Outside a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Peyton Witter. Peyton will be followed by Parker Free in the Wildcat lineup. Pitch to Peyton. That's up high at the letters, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. So I mentioned Peyton had an RBI single in that 4-run inning. Wildcats lit up Slave in that inning, but he's been really good since. Cut on and miss, and that is a strikeout swinging, and that is out number 2. And the batter now will be Parker Free. Parker in the ball game today had a single in his first plate appearance. Flew out to center field and popped out to the first baseman. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Swings and he foul tips it into the middle. The Wildcats aggressively swinging this inning. No balls and 1 strike to Parker. Live on our YouTube channel. We're also on BBB channel 1086. Chandler Jones back at the station. Pitch. Outside a ball. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. We normally would love to be doing a covering the bases show from 7 to 8 on Wednesday nights, but the schedule has not allowed us to, except once, really. Except for the one game at the Pizza Inn, as that pitch is a called strike to Parker. And Slavin trying to get the Wildcats 1-2-3 in the 6th. Lefty versus righty. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Hit up the third base line. Fielded by his dad, Travis Free, and he slings it back into the pitcher. And once again, we'll have a 1-2 pitch. 2 outs, nobody on. Oak Ridge on top of the Dragons, 6-4. A good ball game here at Clinton. 2 Anderson County rivals. 1-2 pitch. Hit well to left center field, but the center fielder is there to make the catch for out number 3. So the Wildcats go in order. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Oak Ridge on top of Clinton, 6-4. We'll be back to Clinton in a moment. David Clary back here along with Ethan Eubanks live in Clinton at the fairgrounds on a chilly Wednesday night. Live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, and on Comcast channel 1086. The Wildcats on top 6-4. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters scheduled against John Ulrich as they bat in the 6th inning. Isaiah Slavin is the batter. He had an RBI, 2 RBI hit his last plate appearance. His runner scored a run. He also struck out in the 2nd, and that was to Peyton Witter. Pitch, a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Two balls, no strikes. John Ulrich, the pitch, hit in the air on the infield. Parker Free calling for it, and he makes the catch. A little bit nervous there for a second, as I felt a little rain myself. High pop up, and everybody converged on it, but the out is recorded. Very light sprinkles falling here at Clinton. We got about $2,000, $3,000 worth of equipment out exposed.
Something slight.
That ball is hit foul off to the right side. Will Presley makes the play over in the dugout, over in the, well, I guess in the bullpen area. And John Ulrich ahead in the count, no balls and 1 strike to Alex Duggins, the third baseman. He had a sacrifice in the 4th and struck out looking in the 2nd. 6-4 Wildcats as we sit in the bleachers in the rain at Clinton. That pitch, a called strike below the knees, but we'll take it. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody aboard. Duggins back in against the slender senior. That pitch is down low, a ball. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Appreciate you watching it wherever you might be watching us. Ulrich comes to the plate, 1-2 pitch, breaking pitch, called strike 3. And that is out number 2. And for John Ulrich, that is his first strikeout. Actually, yes, that is maybe his 2nd strikeout. And more importantly for the Wildcats, that is out number 2 here in the 6th inning. The batter now will be Jackson Barrett. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game, grounded out to Teasley and reached on an error, a crucial error in the 4th inning. He is 0 for 2. 2 outs in the 6th. John Ulrich in relief of Peyton Witter, trying to get the Dragons 1-2-3. There's a called strike at the knees, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. John's pitch, hit on the ground, past him, into center field, and that is a base hit. So a 2-out base runner for the Dragons. And the batter now will be the number 9 hitter for them. That is Dallas Beats. Dallas is 0 for 1 with a walk. He was a strikeout victim back in the 3rd inning, and he walked in that inning where we saw all 9 Dragons bat, and they plated 4 runs. Tying run at the plate, runner not going, the pitch is hit foul over toward the Clinton dugout, and the count is 0-1. 1 on, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning. From Clinton with the Wildcats leading 6-4 over the rival Dragons. Barrett takes his lead off of first, going. Pitch is a ball, and he's in scoring position on a stolen base. And the count is 1-1 to the number 9 hitter in their lineup, Dallas Beats. Jason Mack is on deck, but John wants to face him in the 7th. John Ulrich, tall senior, comes to the plate. Fastball a little inside. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Why didn't you bring your blanket?
I left it at home, actually.
2 balls and 1 strike. Ulrich checks the runner at second, comes to the plate. hit on the ground. It is fair. Mikey Teasley throws him out for out number 3. 3 outs recorded. Mikey Teasley guns him out at first base for the 3rd out of the inning. He bobbled it right behind the bag, and if not for the strong arm of Mikey Teasley, the Dragons inning would have continued. Another nice call by the umpire, a nice throw by Mikey Teasley. We go to the 7th inning here at Clinton. The Wildcats lead it 6-4, and we'll be back to the Dragons home field in a moment. Unfortunately, the rain is starting to fall a little bit harder here, and I honestly don't know how long we can keep our equipment out in the rain as the Wildcats lead it by a score of 6-4. Cam Welch is the leadoff batter for the Wildcats. The pitch to him is high and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Hopefully this rain won't last long. Hopefully our computer and everything stays healthy. Pitch to Cam is down low, a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Cam, let's see, was out first base unassisted in the first inning. Reached on an error, stole a base, and scored a run. The pitch to him, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Rain coming down a little bit harder. As I said, we might have to get off the air if it rains much harder. We are sitting in the bleachers unprotected, and we've got several $1,000s worth of equipment. Got a new pitcher in the ball game. That's Harrison Shelton for the Dragons. And he comes in for Slavin, who is now in left field. Seems to have slacked up just a little bit, Ethan, but it's still raining. And I guess you're the one closest to the electrical stuff. Which means, on the aluminum bleachers will all be fried. So I guess, I never thought I'd go out in Clinton, though.
Yeah, it'd be a shame if we went out in Clinton.
The Dragons the Wildcats have Izzy Mitchell in the ball game. Seems to have slacked off the rain, but the wind has picked up considerably. Izzy's going on the first pitch. Squares to bunt, and that's a stolen base. Izzy scores. Izzy has scored a run already. He scored a run earlier. He has a stolen base. That's what I was trying to say. As my paperwork is all wet now. Izzy takes the lead at second. Kai Welch back in. Izzy not going to third. Squares to bunt. Takes a ball 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's see what Kai has done. Kai today, let's see, has walked, has struck out, and has grounded out to third. Izzy Mitchell, the base runner at second, nobody out, 6-4 Wildcats. Pitch to the plate, he does bunt it, and it's trapped. All hands safe. All hands safe. Third baseman for the Dragons, Alex Duggins, came in. He couldn't decide whether he wanted to catch it. The ball was popped up in the air. He trapped it, and then by the time he recovered, he wasn't able to get anybody. The Wildcats have runners on the corners with still nobody out. I guess we'll give a single, a bunt single to Oak Ridge's Kai Welch. And the batter now is Richie Ferreira. Richie's had a really, really good game today. Richie singled, scored a run, singled, knocked in a run, walked, stole 3 bases, scored a run, and stole another base. So Richie, 3 stolen bases. The Wildcats have Joel Pierce as a runner at first. They have Izzy Mitchell at third base. Here's the throw over, and Joel draws the throw, and he's back to the bag safely. The good news is, Ethan, I think it stopped raining.
It looks like it stopped a little bit.
Maybe we can get through another 20 minutes or so as Richie steps in. Fine ball game today against the Dragons. Joel takes a good lead at first, not going. The pitch hit foul. Out of play. And the count is 0-1 to Richie Ferreira. Richie will be followed by Alex Franklin, who is on deck for Oak Ridge. We're live on BBB Communications Channel 1086. Pitch to Richie. Ducks under a pitch which was evidently out of the strike zone, and the count is 1-1. Harrison Shelton in relief of Isaiah Slavin. Wildcats have used 2 pitchers as well. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Pierce at first. Izzy Mitchell is at third. Alex Franklin on deck for the Wildcats, as I mentioned. Richie's got a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Pitch, Joel going. Pitch cut on, fouled back to the screen, and the count is 1-2. I think Joel's a freshman, Joel Pierce. Not honestly sure of his classification. He looks it. I mean, he's a young-looking guy.
Evelyn said he's a freshman.
Evelyn Eubanks tells us that he is indeed a freshman. Richie Ferreira back in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Joel takes a shorter lead at first. Not going the pitch. Kind of waited on it to come to him, and he hit it foul off to the left side. I think Richie had some time on that one and then just barely caught a piece of it. I think he realized it was going to be a strike. Quit looking up there, Ethan. You're making me nervous. We're looking up at the lights to see if it continues to rain. Richie back in. Lefty versus lefty. The second left-hander used in this one. The pitch hit foul. Back to the netting once again. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oak Ridge could definitely use some insurance runs. The Dragons have the top of the order in the 7th inning. The Wildcats have 2 on. Richie's been very productive today, but he's behind in the count 1-2. Pitch, hit again, foul. Well out of play. And once again, we'll have a 1-2 pitch. We're in the top of the 7th inning. In high school ball, you know, you play 7 innings. Right now, the Wildcats enjoy a 6-4 lead. Richie having a little trouble holding on to the bat. It did rain just a moment ago. I don't know, not more than for 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes at most, enough to get us all wet and us to panic with the equipment. Covered up with some plastic bags. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ferreira, the lefty, back in. Runner going from first. Called strike 3, and that is out number 1. So Richie is retired for the first time. Pierce has a stolen base. The Wildcats have 2 runners in scoring position, and the batter now will be Alex Franklin. Alex primarily has been used as a pitcher, a starting pitcher. Had shoulder surgery last year during the offseason. Hurt his shoulder in the latter stages of the season a year ago. Had the surgery. And, won't be a catcher, won't be an infielder. Has an occasional pinch hit at bat and is mainly used as a starting pitcher. He has played a little left field in a ball game. I think that was against Powell a couple weeks ago. Couple base runners for the Wildcats. The pitch to Alex is down low, a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Alex hitting for Cam Britton. On deck is Warren East, the freshman. Alex Franklin is a senior. The Wildcat bench making noise. Joel Pierce is the base runner at second. Izzy Mitchell at first. The pitch to Alex. That's down low. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes the count. 7th inning from Clinton. Getting a little late. 2-0 pitch. Cut on, I missed. Alex Franklin. Ahead in the count still. 2 balls and 1 strike. Harrison Shelton in relief. His first inning. Has a couple base runners. The pitch to Alex. There's a called strike. And the count is 2-2. Just kind of took a half swing at it. And now we've got an even count. Warren East on deck. The Wildcats need the senior to step up right here. He hits 1 foul. Back to the screen. They have a really nice press facility here at Clinton. Press box. It's they've got one area that I know Dragon Vision's doing their feed of the game. Matt Hagan doing that. Pitch is hit to right field. It is going to be caught, but in to score will come Izzy Mitchell, tagging at second, and moving over to third is Joel Pierce, and that's a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Alex Franklin. That's a big one. Alex Franklin hit the ball, sacrifice fly, RBI, and the Wildcats have an insurance run, and they lead it 6-4. Joel Pierce tagged up, moved from second to third, and here's Warren East. Now it's 7-4 with the Wildcats in the lead. Pitch to Warren, called strike at the knees, no balls and 1 strike. Warren today singled, a little bunt single, a squeeze play with an RBI, had a stolen base, scored a run, hit by a pitch, and flew out to center field. 7-4 Wildcats, the pitch. Cut on, I missed. Freshman behind in the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. There are 2 outs. Pierce is still the base runner at third. Izzy Mitchell just a moment ago scored his 2nd run of the game. Pitch hit foul. Oh, man. I don't know if that guy got hit something. It was a foul ball. The coaching staff was lined up against the bricks over there, and that foul scattered them for sure. I don't know if there was contact on skin, but
I think it barely missed him.
Well, that's good. All hands safe. No balls and 2 strikes to Warren East. Pitch. That's up high. Joel came about quarter of the way down the third base line. Chased back by Jason Mack, the catcher. Warren back in. The lefty comes to the plate. The pitch. Hit on the ground to the third baseman. He fumbles it. He throws. Not in time. And Joel Pierce scores. The Wildcats score another run. He couldn't pick it up cleanly at third. And the Wildcats score one more insurance run. And the Wildcats now lead the Dragons by a score of 8-4. And a conversation taking place. Ball, pitcher, actually Shelton hasn't pitched that badly, honestly. He has not really pitched that badly, but he is going to be replaced. But the Wildcats pick up that insurance run as Joel Pierce comes in to score the run. And the Wildcats now lead it 8-4. While we have a pitching change, we'll take a break. We're on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. Oak Ridge on top of Clinton, 8-4. We'll be back in a moment. Wildcats are going to steal a base as Warren East goes on the new pitcher, Jackson Barrett. And that's his second stolen base. Noah Wood is batting for Caden Black. I hope Caden's okay. I see him in the dugout. Not exactly sure. Time might have been asked for. And Warren has to return to the bag. Noah Wood is the batter. He's pinch hitting for Caden Black. Like I said, hopefully Caden's okay. Runner at first. 8-4 Wildcats. He's going. The pitch, the throw, and he is in with a stolen base again. So this one counts, though. And Warren East is in scoring position here in the 7th inning with 2 outs and a 1-strike count on the batter. Warren takes his lead off of second. Big lead off of second. Pitch. Called strike 2 at the knees to Noah. And the count is 0-2. Got a right-hander. Third pitcher used. This is Jackson Barrett for the Dragons. Warren takes his lead off of second. The pitch to Noah. Ooh, not sure where that one was. Looked good from here. But I'm up in the bleachers, the cold, cold bleachers. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Noah Wood. Good lead. Pitch to Noah. This one's way up high. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Noah Wood, right-handed hitting freshman. Good lead, and he's going. The pitch up high, ball 3. Here's the throw. Another stolen base. Wildcats are approaching double-digit stolen bases against the Clinton Dragons in this one. I don't know that I've ever seen 10 stolen bases in one game. And that is the second this inning, third tonight by Warren. That pitch is cut on and missed, and that is a strikeout. But the Wildcats do score 2 insurance runs. We go to the bottom of the 7th, 3 outs away from a victory over the Dragons. 8-4 Wildcats. We'll be back in a moment. We'll go back to Clinton. The Wildcats on top of the Dragons 8-4. It'll be the top of the order for Clinton. Jace Mack, the leadoff man for the Dragons, facing John Ulrich. Let's see what Jace has done. He walked in the first inning, grounded out to third in the third, and grounded out to second in the fourth inning. Pitch is a ball, 2 balls and no strikes to count. Caden Black has kind of something funny about one of his knuckles. So he's out of the ball game. Ball is hit in the air, foul territory, drifting back. Mikey Teasley, a nice play in foul territory for out number 1. I didn't think, as far as he had to go for that ball, that Mikey was going to be able to track it down, but he did. Really nice play by the sophomore third baseman. Jackson Webb, now the batter. He had a sacrifice bunt in the first inning, walked and scored a run in the fourth inning, had a single in the fifth inning, and he takes a strike from John Ulrich, who's trying to nail down the save for Peyton Witter. 1 out here in the seventh, 8-4 Wildcats. The pitch, cut on and missed, and the count is 0-2. Harrison Shelton is on deck for the Dragons. Nobody aboard. 0-2 pitch. Oh boy, I'd have rung him up, but I'm not the blue or black, the umpire. I would have rung him up, but that's because I'm cold. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the pitch. That's a ball for sure. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. 1 out here in the seventh, 8-4, the Wildcats in the lead. We'll have our post game after this. Coach Free and probably some players. We'll make it quick because it's cold. Pitch, hit foul on top of the field house and clubhouse for the Clinton Dragons over on the left side. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jackson Webb, the batter, left-hander. And the pitch. That's up high. Don't want to walk anybody. You're up by 4. Don't want to give the Dragons base runners. Got a good hitter on deck in Harrison Shelton. Pitch, ball 4.
Now batting the center fielder, number 14, Harrison Shelton.
Harrison Shelton, the batter, he lined out to Warren East back in the first inning, doubled in a run and scored a run, that is, in the 5th inning. And like I mentioned, he struck out as well. John Ulrich checks the runner at first. 8-4 Wildcats, bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch. Timeout is asked for before John can throw it. Wildcats, let's see. Cam Britton still in left. Warren East is in center. Richie Ferreira is in right. Camden Welch is at first. Parker Free is the second baseman. Noah Wood is the shortstop. Mikey Teasley is at third. Pitch stays up high. And the count is 1-0. Kai Welch is the catcher. John Ulrich in his 3rd inning of work has a runner at first. The pitch hit in the air, on the infield, and very high. Camden Welch calls for it, drifting, makes a try. He's going to get the out anyway on the force. Poor base runner at first really had no choice but to retreat back to the bag at first because Cam was under it, and then it kind of drifted away from him, and he didn't catch it. But the out is recorded on the force, and that is the 2nd out, and the Wildcats 1 out away from a win. Pitch is hit on the infield. This should do it. Camden Welch at first makes the catch. The ball game is over. The Wildcats have defeated the Clinton Dragons by a final score of 8-4. The Wildcats take down the Dragons here at Clinton in a game you have seen live on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, and on BBB Communications channel 1086. Peyton Witter is the winning pitcher. The Wildcats win 8-4. The Wildcats had 8 hits. The Dragons had 4. Both teams had 1 error. As I mentioned, the winning pitcher is Peyton Witter. The losing pitcher is Isaiah Slavin. The Wildcats kind of get back on the winning side of things after a winning streak that lasted 5 games. The Wildcats were defeated yesterday by Central, but they come to Clinton and take down the Dragons in a make-up ball game originally scheduled for the first game of the year. 8-4 the final score. We will have the post-game show in a moment. The Wildcats' next ball game coming up on Friday at Maryville. Stay tuned for our post-game show. I'm going to run down some of the statistics now for the Wildcats, and then hopefully we'll have a short conversation. It is a little later than usual as the Wildcats win it. Caden Black exited the ball game, but he walked, stole a base, had a single and an RBI. Mikey Teasley had a single and 3 stolen bases in the game. He scored a run, also was hit by a pitch. Peyton Witter had an RBI single. Parker Free had a single. Cam Welch had a stolen base, a run scored, walked. Kai Welch walked and had a single. Izzy Mitchell scored 2 runs and had a stolen base. Richie Ferreira had a single, scored a run, had a single and knocked in a run. Had a walk, stole 3 bases, scored a run. Good night for Richie Ferreira. And Joel Pierce stole a base and scored a run. Camden Britton had a sacrifice, a walk, and a stolen base. Warren East had a single, an RBI, a stolen base, a run scored, hit by a pitch, and a stolen base. Actually, 2 stolen bases. Alex Franklin had a sacrifice fly and an RBI as well. The Wildcats win by a final score of 8-4. Get ready for the post game as we wait for Coach Free and a player, maybe 2. We will be back in a moment.